of the world that you live in every day, right? Security innovation, NTT Data, you have a lot of large clients, you do a lot of services engagements as it relates to cyber exercises. You do, both from a training, but from a security assessment, security penetration testing, all of the old, a lot of the old monikers that have new kind of that you have to keep up with, because you have to try to stay ahead of the bad guys, right, and gals. So, Ed, what are your thoughts? What are you seeing with your customer base as it relates to, okay, so I think we've beaten the concept of surface management, external attack surface management dead, right? So it's about reconnaissance, it's about discovery, it's about asset inventory, and it's about doing that continuously, right? Because things are changing every day. What are your thoughts, Ed, about taking that from what we've seen over the past number of years, some really good ASM, EASM products out there, to the concept of continuous testing as well, right? So that's a biggie, right? And I'm using the word testing to be very generic on purpose, right? There's testing, there's red teaming, there's attacking, which again is the big red button that everybody's been afraid of forever. What are your thoughts on the evolution there? What are your clients saying to you about this kind of thing?
Yeah, so what I see as a growing trend, I do see things like attack simulation, hitting that big red attack button. I do think that's a natural extension for some of these EASM platforms. EASM is sometimes confused with BAS, or breach and attack simulation, but it should not be. Breach and attack simulation does not do that kind of scanning and reporting. What it does is it does that continuous testing of security controls by automating simulated attacks, using techniques similar to those found in the meta attack framework, which I think we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. But BAS deployments historically are much more complex. They usually require some type of agent or maybe multiple agents to be installed in the corporate network. And BAS is still pretty immature in terms of its value versus other existing methods, like internal vulnerability scanning and penetration testing. So I think the value of BAS in and of itself is still to be determined. And I think I see it being consumed with an attack surface management type of platform, maybe starting from the outside and then just kind of expanding naturally internally. I still think that attack surface management has a very, very long runway. Most of our clients still cannot accurately say how many assets they have, and it does change every single day. So we're presently trying to sell them on the concept of not just attack surface management, but that perpetual, continuous, automated, kind of red teaming and the value of it. Because if you're not, well, let me put it this way: your infrastructure and endpoints are being tested continuously. Your choice is whether you want to do it as well, because someone is already doing it, guaranteed. So I definitely see the trend of these platforms kind of merging, and I think EASM will eventually morph into ASM and consider.
Right. So I think it makes it louder, but I don't know. I'm not anybody answer that. How does EASM, in your mind? I'm going to throw this out to Tejas. How would this this type of security offering, external attack surface management, complement other security tools that have been deployed?
So what I would take and say, compare it with something like a digital risk protection. So if you look at EASM, that focuses more on the discovery aspects. That's like Bikash mentioned, that's primarily more on the recon side. Well, something like a digital risk protection provides you a 360-degree view. It also does a takedown. But EASM, as it stands, like Paul, you rightly mentioned in the BASF analogy, right? It's not replacing, or it's not taking away your speaker and creating a new one. It's not doing something which has not been done before. It's just possibly providing some method to the madness and organizing things better, so that we understand that to treat the external attacks differently and the external assets differently,